Okay, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to finish up the rest of the coding for the basic game Pong. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to get rid of this ready function. We don't need that. And next thing we're going to do is in the process function, ball time minus equal delta, and we're going to set ball timer.text, and we're going to set it to equal to integer, and we're going to round the value we get from the ball time, and that should be all good for that. And for this ball reset, what we're gonna do is call ball, and we're gonna make a custom function in ball, and we're gonna call it move. For now, that's that. Next, let's go into the, I guess we'll go to the ball class next and create the script. So we're gonna come in here and create the script. I'm gonna set some variables up, speed and a velocity, and we're gonna set this to vector 2.0, which means it's just going to be by default 0, 0. And let's get our ready function, and what we're going to first do is call randomize, because we're going to be randomizing which direction the ball is going to start on the game. And we're going to do velocity.x. We're going to put an array here, -1 to 1, so we're going to pick randomly between those two values, and we're going to call random integer, and then we're going to do here 2, so it's going to pick, I forgot we need that, so it's randomly going to pick between those two values. Let's copy that, and this time we're going to do y. If you want more variation for the angle, you can change the values in here, but we're only doing 2 values to choose from. And now we're going to write our physics for the ball. So we're going to do var collision equals, and then we're going to say move and collide, and we're going to put velocity multiplied by the speed and multiplied by the delta time. And we're going to check if collision, then we're just going to say velocity equals velocity.bounce, and we're going to do collision, and we're going to call for the normal value. Now we're going to write 2 more functions for this ball. We're going to tell it self.position equals 512 for the, no, that's supposed to be the x value, and self.position.y equal 256, and we're going to call this again, so let's copy this, copy that, because we're going to randomize again. We could write a function for randomize, but we're only using it twice, so I don't think it's worth it. We're going to also tell the game to set the speed to 0, and we're also going to tell the game to hide the ball. And the last function we need that for now is the move function that we had called in the main function, which will tell us to show the ball, and we're going to set the speed back to 500. So that's that. Now we're going to want to go in, I guess we can start with the player next, and we're going to create a new script, player, and this one is pretty simple. I'm just going to declare one variable for this. I'm going to set the speed to be 400. Delete the rest of this. And we're going to call physics process. And we're going to declare the variable instead of outside, we're going to declare inside. This will allow it so every time we're not holding the button up or down, it's going to just automatically tell the ball to stop moving. So we do if input is action pressed, then we're going to look for UI up. Then we're going to tell it to set the velocity dot y. Okay, so we forgot the colon on this line here, so let's add that here. And we're going to tell it to set minus equal to 1. Pressed, and we're going to do UI down for the other direction. Let's just type in UI / underscore down. And this time we're going to tell it to increment by 1. Last but not least, we're going to call the move and collide function, and we're just going to put velocity multiplied by the delta times speed. And that should be good for the player. Now all we're missing is the AI level, and I believe we need to add a little bit more to the main script after we finish these last two. So we're going to come in here, AI player. There's not much of a difference for here. We're just adding a few extra variables that we need to keep track of. We're going to set the speed to be 300 so it's easier to win for the human player. And we're also going to have a variable called ball. This is going to allow us to keep track of the ball. We're going to call get parent dot find node, and we're going to search for the ball. This will allow the game to be able to process where the where the ball is, so the AI paddle can find the ball and move towards it. Function, we're going to call physics process. We're going to call move and collide. We're going to do vector2. We're going to do 0, comma, and then we're going to add a function we're going to call move direction. And we're going to just do multiply by speed times delta. It's going to give us an error because we don't have a function, but let's declare that move direction function now. So we're going to check if absolute position, we're going to be looking to make sure this works for both above or below the paddle. Position dot y minus position dot y, and we're going to check for it to be 25 units above. Yeah, that looks fine. And now we're going to tell it ball position dot y if the ball position is higher up or technically below. Yeah, this is basically saying if the ball position is below the paddle, then we're gonna tell the script to return 1, which will tell basically the paddle to start moving down. And else we're gonna tell it to return -1, which would mean the ball's above, so we're going to be moving the the paddle up. And if it doesn't run either of those, we're going to tell it to return 0, which means basically the paddle and ball are lined up with each other, and the paddle doesn't need to move. Next, let's go to the level. I'm going to add a script here. Yep, okay. We're going to add 2 variables here that's going to need to be called signal left goal and signal right goal. And next we're going to come in here, click on left goal, and we're going to check for bodied entered, add that. Let's quickly go in and get right goal as well. Bodied entered. And all we're going to do is check if the body is called ball, then we're going to emit signal that we got the goal on the left side. Same on the other side, we're going to say if the body name is equal to ball, then we're going to tell it to emit a signal telling it that we got a goal on the right side. Now what we're going to need to do now is come over here on the main node, and we're going to add these to the main script. So to do that, click on here again, same thing, add this, and now we're going to go and finally add the last lines of code for this current video. So on left goal, we're going to go in here and tell UI.score, and we're going to tell it that left scored, or we got a score on the left side. And then we're going to call ball, and we're going to call it reset function. Basically, we're going to do the same thing here. I'm going to copy and not cut, and we're going to tell it right. That should be, I believe, everything. If we run this now, what happened? Absolute cannot confirm. Why is it? Oh, whoops. We need to do that. Yeah, so we forgot the parentheses. So now I think, let's see. Okay, there was one piece of code that I forgot to add. We forgot to add ball time needs to be reset back to 3 every time we score a goal. Because now if we play this, I'm going to quickly just play and make sure it works. And we get the timer for 3 seconds and the ball respawns. Okay, so that's going to be it for this video. I'll see you guys in the next video. That should be probably posted Monday morning or afternoon, we'll see.